Good evening, everyone. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have roll call, please?
Supervisor McGlasson?
Here.
Councilwoman Campbell? Present. Councilman Totori?
Here.
Councilman Ruthven?
Here.
All present.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our first item on the agenda is to appoint alternate members to the zoning board. We have letters from the zoning board asking us to appoint Robert Ulick and Andrew Wells to the zoning board. Any discussion?
Well, I know both of them, and I think they'd be a good addition. Maybe one of them I'm not sure about, but no, I think they're both really good guys, and they'd make a good addition for alternates for the zoning board.
Okay. Anyone want to read the resolution?
The resolution just has one name in it, so we're going to have to add the second name.
Okay. So just
Andrew Wells has to be added.
Okay.
That's fine, I'll do it.
All right, just add them.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution appointing alternate members to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Whereas the Town of Kent Zoning Board of Appeals, the ZBA, currently has vacancies, and Robert Ulick and Andrew Wells have submitted an application to fill said vacancy. And whereas the Town of Kent wishes to appoint Robert Ulick and Andrew Wells to fill the vacant position of alternate members on the ZBA, now therefore be it resolved that Robert Ulick and Andrew Wells are hereby appointed to fill the vacant positions of alternate members on the ZBA for a term terminating on December 31st.
Look at Lana for that.
Well, we usually do them for a year, but can we extend it at least till the end of '23?
December 31st, 2023. I hereby make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next item on the agenda is for Lake Carmel. It is the weed harvester has lived its life, but we think that if we put it up for auction that we can get good money for it, so we are going to put the weed harvester up for auction. And if it doesn't sell, then we will scrap it for its metal value.
Excuse me?
What's a good price?
For scrap metal value?
Where if you sell the wheat harvester,
The, aye.
you consider a good price.
So, and that's a very good question, Sue. Let's make sure that we know what the scrap metal value is on it before we accept an auction price that's less than that, and I don't know. I don't know what the need for one. This is certainly a very big piece of equipment, so it's not going to be used for a small lake. It may be used for a big lake, but it is the recommendation of our chief mechanic that it's worth more for us to get rid of it and look at contracting if we need to do weed harvesting than it is to continually try to repair the thing.
You wanna read it?
I lost my spot.
Oh, then read it.
Okay. I make a motion to adopt a resolution for the authorization to offer items for sale through Auctions International. Whereas the Lake Carmel Park District has requested to dispose of the weed harvester hereinafter, referred to as the equipment, and whereas the town board wishes to authorize the Lake Carmel Park District to use the services of Auctions International, Inc. to offer the equipment for sale to third parties, or if there are no purchases, to scrap the equipment in exchange for its metal value. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent authorizes the Lake Carmel Park District to offer the equipment for sale through Auctions International, Inc. And be it further resolved that if the offer for sale through Auctions International results in no sale of the equipment, the Lake Carmel Park District authorizes to scrap the equipment for its metal value. I hereby make that resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our next item is from our highway department. Richard Othmer, our highway superintendent, is requesting us to hire Robert Erickson III as a motor equipment operator effective October 3rd, 2022. He'll begin his 6-month probationary period as of the state as well. Any comments?
I know this young man, I'm fine with it.
Okay. And you want to read the resolution?
Okay. I make a motion to adopt a resolution to hire a mechanical equipment operator for the town highway department. Whereas the highway superintendent, Richard Osmer, wishes to hire a mechanical equipment operator, MEO, in the highway department and has recommended the hiring of Robert Erickson III as MEO. And whereas the town board wishes to accept the recommendation of the superintendent of highways and hire Robert Erickson III, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the hiring of Robert Erickson III as mechanical equipment operator in the highway department at the contractual rate of pay. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next item is to award bids for the Lake Carmel walking path and the driveway improvements at Edward Ryan Memorial Park. We opened the bids. We originally received three bids for the walking path, and then we got a phone call that one of them had been rescinded. So that left us with two, and then we also got two for the Ryan's Park driveway improvements. Insight did give their opinion of who to use, but I feel that we should go back out to bid and see if we can get a few more bids than two. I don't think that's doing our due diligence to just get two and appoint one of them and award one of them. So I would say that we should authorize to go back out to bid for both projects.
I agree. I think only getting two bids on two projects this size seems a little disheartening. I also think it was a bad time of year to bid. These contractors have been very, very busy throughout the summer. You know, I would recommend that we, through the town clerk, try to reach out to a larger number of contractors in the area and maybe give a little more time to allow them to submit their bids back in so that we can try to get a good selection of bids to take a look at.
Okay. All right. So do we have to?
Re-advertise.
Okay. Do you want to make the motion to?
Got just a few questions. Do these bids stay in place and we just collect more bids, or do they have to rebid?
Start over. So
Okay.
we're going to throw out all of these bids and start the process over again.
Okay. Do we need a resolution to re-advertise?
Just a motion to authorize the clerk to re-advertise for bids.
Okay.
Maybe you want to talk about a couple of dates.
So what's a good date?
I'm looking right now. Let's see.
How much time would you like to give them?
2 meetings worth.
Two
a
meetings
month.
worth? Okay, so today is,
So like open them. November 1st is our first meeting. And November
So that-
15th.
How long will we advertise for? 2
So-
weeks?
that would
More
be
than
2
that.
weeks.
So the second meeting in November?
Hold on. Maybe
We'll
that's
open them
wrong.
right before the second meeting in November.
November 1st and November 15th, so open them the week of the 7th.
Okay.
So the offices are closed here on the 8th and the 11th, so it would have to be either Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday of that week.
It's up to
Doesn't,
you.
I don't care.
Somebody has, I just need someone present.
I mean,
Let's go to Thursday.
all right,
What's
we'll
the
do
date of it?
Thursday, the 10th.
Okay,
All right,
that's fine, okay. Just-
okay.
Okay, so I make a
Thank you.
motion to authorize the town clerk, Yana DiCapelli, to bid out the construction of the Lake Carmel walking path and the driveway improvements at Edward Ryan Memorial Park, with the bids closing on Thursday, November 10th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our next item is the RFPs for the planning board. I'm going to let Councilman Ruffin explain that one.
So through discussion and with no intention to say anything bad about the planning board consultants, they haven't been RFP'd in quite some time. So we thought it would be a good time to renew them, go back through the process, allow the planning board to interview and just see what our options are out there. And you know, we very well may end up with the same consultants. That's the planning board's decision to pick who they want. But, you know, I've talked to a couple different people, and they say periodically you want to do this to refresh it instead of just continuing to reappoint them over and over and over again. So that was the reasoning behind it. And I did talk to the planning board chairman, and he felt that it was a good time to do that now, so that when we get to appointment time in January, they'll have had time to vet them out, and we'll be able to reappoint in January.
Okay.
Do you want to open them on the same day, November 10th?
Fine with me.
That's fine.
Yes.
I'd like to do it earlier than that. I'd like to give them, no, November 10th would be fine. That gives them well over a month and a half to interview and talk to them. That's fine.
You want to read it?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to pass a resolution authorizing the town clerk to advertise a request for proposals for planning board consultants, where it is the policy of the town board of the town of Kent to periodically seek proposals for professional services, and whereas the town board believes that it's in the I've got to take my glasses off, I can't read. Believes that to be in the best interests of the town to advertise that it is seeking proposals for engineering, planning, wetland, and legal services, Part 4, as set forth in the specification documents annexed hereto and incorporated by reference. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes its town clerk, Yonda D. Capelli, to advertise for a request for proposals for engineering, planning, wetland, and legal services, Part 4. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm making a request as the acting director of recreation to make Karen Schuman a senior recreation assistant. Karen's been running the office now for the past few months. Our rec director got another opportunity, and she's really taken over and helped me so much with everything going on in the office. So I am asking us to change her title to senior recreation assistant and to change her salary.
I would add that she's not just working in the office. She's been
No, she's-
outside doing special events and everything, and she's really, really good, so.
She
I
was
support
hired as an 8 to 4 person, and she's at soccer during the week, coaching teams that don't have coaches. She's there at movie nights. She's at everything, so she's a great asset to the department. There's just 2 things that I want to change in here. I want to backdate it to September 12th.
Okay.
And then this has an rate of hour, but we have a salary. So can we just add a salary of?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
it's an annual
Just
salary.
Yeah, just say at a salary of, what
Instead
the
of rate,
salary
okay.
is, effective September 12th.
Yep. Okay. All right. Does someone want to read this?
I'll read just what's the,
Okay.
just write it in there.
So it's September, here, I'll just give you that one and then I'll,
Perfect.
there you go.
I'd like to make a motion adopting a resolution authorizing the hiring of a senior recreation assistant. Whereas the town of Kent is seeking to fill the position of senior recreation assistant for the recreation department, and whereas by letter dated September 12, 2022, Jamie McGlasson, supervisor and acting director of recreation and parks, recommended the hiring of Karen Schuman as senior recreation assistant. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the hiring of Karen Schuman as senior recreation assistant at a salary of $51,000 per year. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I hereby make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next item is to appoint a member to the Kent Recycling Commission. You can have that one.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna,
Now I just want to make sure I have the right, because now I'm not sure. Sue, can you come up and just tell us which one you want to put in the seat?
I think it's Bradley, right?
Is, I'm not sure which one it is. I have both letters, but I don't know which one.
I think it's Brad Janessen is
That-
replacing Curtis Watkins on the committee.
I just want to make sure we appoint the
Yeah, I
right
know.
one.
I know, it got a little confusing,
So
sorry.
you want Bradley Jennison?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have that resolution.
Well, you have to change the name. It has a different name in there. Ann, do you want to read that resolution?
I make a motion to adopt a resolution appointing a member to the Kent Recycling Center. Whereas the Town of Kent Recycling Commission, parentheses recycling, currently has a vacancy and has recommended Bradley Jennison to fill said vacancy. And whereas the Town of Kent wishes to appoint Bradley Jennison to fill the vacant position as a member of the Recycling Commission, but not as co-chairperson, now therefore be it resolved that Bradley Jennison is hereby appointed as member of the Town of Kent Recycling Commission. I make that motion.
Second.
And his term will expire 12/3/23. 12/31/23.
23. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alrighty. Next item on the agenda, where is it? Is for new fencing at Lake Carmel near, along 311 near Beach 5. We've received 3 quotes.
2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we requested 3, only received 2. From our crew chief, Frank Sabatini. He recommends that we accept the installation quote from Duke Fencing of $13,240. And the Lake Carmel Parks crew will remove and haul away the materials themselves prior to the installation so that we can cut cost.
You gotta change the resolution, because it says 14,140, it's got the removal on it.
Okay.
So it's
Oh, so it's
13,240.
13,240. Okay.
So this request has come over quite some time from the Lake Carmel Park Advisory Board, and some residents for that matter who drive by it. It's kind of one of the entryways into our town from the Livney Restaurant across the causeway, and if you ever look at this fence or even pay attention to it, you can see through the weeds that grow on the DOT side of it. It's rusted, it's got rusted barbed wire across the top of it, and it's really, really ugly. It's seen better days. At my request, I said when we contract this out, I don't believe it has to be a 6-foot fence anymore. I don't see the need for a 6-foot fence, but if we had a shorter fence there without barbed wire, and if we moved it away from the road a little bit, so there's a little more room to get behind it and do the maintenance on the roadside, but not enough to allow parking on the road. So that's what Frank went with, and he got the quotes for it. I think it'll be a good improvement coming into the town that we don't see this dilapidated, rusty fence on the way in anymore.
I agree. Yes?
Just a quick question, if there's anybody that can supply the answer. It says new fencing quote for $900 to remove and haul away, but the parks crew is hauling it away, right?
So we subtracted that. It was originally, it was
14,140.
14,140, and then we subtracted the $900.
You see their quote?
It's 13, so it was $900 to remove it and $13,240 to replace the new fencing. So we're just taking out the $900 and we're just going to have them replace the fencing.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Wow, that other,
Yeah.
that other quote.
The other quote was, it would have been well over
Oh my gosh.
$30,000 to do it, for removal and replacement.
$7,000 just to remove the fence. $27,000.
We got a bidding war, going on.
This is not Name That
Yes.
Tune.
Duke Fence has done a lot of good work for Lake Carmel. They tend to get the bids a lot, so that we can trust them that they're gonna do a good job.
Okay. Do you want-
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to pass a resolution accepting a quote for repair of the fencing for Lake Carmel Park District. Whereas consistent with the town's procurement policy, the Lake Carmel Park District requested quotes for removing and replacing of fencing at Beach 5 and received 2 quotes in response to the request, copies of which are attached hereto and incorporated by reference herein. And whereas the town board wishes to accept the quote and award the work to Duke Fence, who submitted the lowest quote in the aggregate amount of $13,240 for replacing the fencing at Beach 5. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes Duke Fence to replace the fencing at Beach 5 for the amount not to exceed $13,240. Further resolved, and it is further resolved that the town board of the town of Canton hereby authorizes and directs the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion to add an item to the agenda for municipal repairs.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I received a letter this afternoon from Nick Mancuso, our service manager, who is asking us to purchase a new diagnostic scan tool for a price of $5,000. He has 3 quotes here, and that is the cheapest quote. He came in front of all of us last week and in our budget meetings, and he requested if he would be able to buy this now this year. So we need it, and it will save us time and money not having to send vehicles back to the manufacturer. So I'm gonna, let's see, I make a motion to allow Nick Mancuso, our service manager, to purchase a diagnostic scan tool for a price not to exceed $5,000 from Motor Diagnostics F-Car USA. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else that they have to add to this? No? Okay.
You ready for me?
You're up.
The following vouchers over the threshold from October 4th, 2022. Semco Water, $2,770.20 for Water District Number 1. City Carding, $7,809.99 for Lake Carmel Garbage. Cornerstone Appraisal Associates, $2,187.50 for Lake Stormwater Consultant. Cummings Power Systems, $4,655.10 for auto parts. Danbury Auto Spring and Welding, $4,030.38 for a repair for the sanitation truck. First Person Sports, $3,645 for laser tag. Global Montello Group, $7,822.96 for diesel, $6,661.90 for gas, $7,918.68 for diesel, $6,511.86 for gas. Kevin Irwin, $4,000. I got it. I don't know what this one is. Can somebody help me with this? There's an extra number. It can't be in there like that.
Can you just do 4,440?
Sure. $4,440 for the July to September prosecutor. NICEAG, $3,241.44 for the electric for the police department. $2,516.26 for the electric for Ryan's Field Lights. Peckham Industries, $29,876.77 for blacktop, $51,844.31 for blacktop. Pond and Lake Connection, $4,950 for Lake Tibet Lake Treatment. RTI Industries, $51,200 for the excavator grinder at the landfill. Spain Agency, $71,368.03 for insurance installment. United Rentals, $2,290 for Porta John Rentals for recreation. I ask the board to approve the following as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a few announcements. Anne, are you doing the Historical Society ones, or do you want me to do it?
I have to
Oh, you
admit,
have
I
them?
walked out without
Okay,
everything
so you want me
today.
to-
If you
okay.
have it, please.
All right.
Thank you
Perfect.
so much.
You saved this, because I just asked you the same thing.
October 8th, we have the Kent Historical Society is doing a guided stroll through the historic cemetery adjoining the church and visit the church as it is today. You, for more information, 845-225-2481.
That's
On-
Roots on the church. That's the one on Horse Pond Road, I believe.
North
Yeah.
Horse Pound.
Yeah.
Cause of severe.
Yeah, right by Gappy's, right up on the road there.
Then on October 9th, from 9 to 2, the Kent Historical Society is having their benefit tag sale, 1374 Route 52, Lettingtonville. This is a benefit sale to aid in the operations of the Kent Historical Society Schoolhouse, fund our programs, and enhance the management of our collection. On Friday, October 14th, we have our pumpkin painting at Ryan's Field. It will be from 4 to 5:45, and then after, right at 6 o'clock, we'll have Halloween bingo with prizes and 10 chances to win. For more information, you can sign up. To sign up, you can go to Civic Rec, or you can call the Recreation Office with any questions. Next is October 15th, Putnam County residents only, Putnam County Department of Health Residential Household Hazardous Waste Drop-Off Day. Fawnstock State Park, Canupus Lake Beach Parking Lot. Pre-registration is required. You can call 845-808-1390, extension 43125. Then, if you do that, then later on October 15th, you can do the cider stroll through the town of Kent. Family fun, shop for one-of-a-kind finds, light fare, and local cider tasting. You can sign up by doing carmelkentchamber.org or by picking up one of these flyers and scanning the QR code. I won't explain it to you again.
Yeah.
I don't know what a
Me
QR
neither.
is.
And on, oops, I did a little out of order, sorry everyone. Saturday, October 8th is the 11th annual Caitlin Rose Savio Memorial Day at Kiwi Country Day Camp. A $10 donation per car to allow access to tennis, mini golf, jumping pillow, basketball courts, gaga, boating fields, and face painting. For more information, you can call 845-222-6908. That is all I have.
I have a couple from Kent Public Library. I came without my papers and I'm scrolling through my phone and I'm impressed by the sheer number of events that the library offers. So I'm just going to highlight a couple that are tied in with the ARPA funding. So they have launched the cybersecurity programs. That was one of the first programs they were going to offer through this. So on Tuesday, October 11th, 6 to 6:45 p.m. at the Kent Library, we have cybersecurity for students grades K through 4 and their families to learn how to take proactive steps to protect personal information for parents and students to learn basic techniques to enhance internet safety and social media applications. And then there's a similar offering for high school students, middle and high school, on Wednesday, October 26th, also 6 to 6:45 p.m. at the Kent Library. And they also are offering tech support on Saturdays from 10 to 12 for anybody who needs assistance with any kind of online or computer applications. That's all I have for now. Thanks.
All right, just a little update on the Lake Carmel Dam report. If any of you guys are interested out there in coming in next Tuesday, the 11th at 7 o'clock, we're going to kind of hijack prior to the Lake Carmel Park Advisory Board meeting, and John Watson from Insight Engineering is going to present his findings from the report in a public presentation. We are going to advertise it. We talked to Alana today so that more town board members can attend and all hear it at the same time. We'll try to get that done right, followed by the Lake Carmel Park Advisory Board meeting. So it's all together. It'll be here, 7 o'clock next Tuesday. But it's a holiday on Monday. Monday's
It's
Columbus Day. So we're having the meeting will be on Tuesday. And I suggest anybody that's interested, this Lake Carmel Dam, it's been lingering around for a very, very long time. We were fortunate enough to get a grant and then some additional funding to actually get the engineering and the core boring done. And I think we're all looking real forward to see what the report is and where we move forward from here to finally solve this problem once and for all. Also, just on the Lake Carmel stuff, a lot of people have been calling asking about the walking bridge. We're still tied up with FEMA a little bit, although we are moving along. We feel we have submitted everything we have to them up to date, and we have finally gotten preliminary engineering reports back in a draft form that we have to return to our engineer and approve, at which time we can look at actually going into the construction phase of the bridge by Veterans Memorial on Lake Carmel. I hope to see it done by the spring. It would be nice if it was done simultaneously with the walking path extension getting done, so we can kind of open it all up at one time. And there's some other FEMA things out there that have, those of you that have been following them, there's been absolutely no change on them at this point on the FEMA projects. The rest of them, we've submitted, we feel confident we've submitted everything they've requested. We've had numerous meetings with them and they're telling us we are in good shape at this point, and just to keep moving forward to get the construction done and continue to submit the bills for it. So they're not waiting on anything from us at this point. Now, one last thing I want to say is, obviously, 2 weekends ago, the traveling wall was at Veterans Memorial Park. Many of you that I see in the audience were there. Not that there's many of you in the audience, but many of you were there. And I really, really appreciate the strong showing from the town of Kent and the residents that came out. I was there overnight, all the nights that it was there. And it was really, really good to see a strong turnout to support our veterans in Putnam County. So thank you.
I just have.
Oh, I think actually, oh, wait, hold on, I think Kathy might have, no, okay.
So the mining, that's a good question on the mining. The mining has been sent over to the planning board. I will speak with them to see if they've had time to review that, and we can discuss it with them. But the draft form, it's been given back to us at this point, and the planning board should have a draft for their review at this point. And once we can set a date, we'll come together and discuss it and then move it along. But it's in its final stages at this point. What was the other one you asked? The community center, unfortunately, in August, we had a meeting set up with the community center board. An illness required us to cancel it, and then we've been just swamped with budget meeting in union negotiations and everything else left and right now. But we do plan on meeting with them soon.
Yes.
We have some pretty good idea and direction on what we want to discuss with them and hopefully move it forward.
I just have a couple announcements. It is homecoming weekend. There is a parade through the hamlet of Carmel at 11 a.m. and then 1:30 is the game against Mount Vernon. And after that, the Knights of Columbus is hosting an Oktoberfest. So if anybody is interested in going, it is a wonderful weekend for the whole Carmel, Kent community and the high school community. Again, just to mention, the last date to register for the November elections is October 14th, and you can go on vote.org or at the New York State Board of Elections, or you can go down to the Putnam County Board of Elections, and they will register you to vote. So please get out there and vote, regardless of who you're going to vote for. It is one of our sacred rights and responsibilities as U.S. citizens. And the last thing I have is, one last thing with the Kent Historical Society is we have two Carmel teachers, Rob Bucari and Keith Riley, who do Civil War and Revolutionary War reenactments, and they will be here at the town center or the town hall complex on October 22nd. And they are doing a Civil War reenactment, and I was just told that our esteemed supervisor is going to be Sybil Luddington. And maybe riding a horse that day. So that is something to come out and watch.
I know
Especially because I've never ridden a horse before, so it's going to be fun.
And
Maybe a pony.
it is my birthday too,
Oh, so
October
see?
22nd, so maybe I'll come in on a mule.
If anyone has a pony.
I know, I was just thinking of a conversation Sue and I had before the meeting that might work perfect. All right.
Okay. Any public comment?
I'd just say a quick thank you to the board, especially the Carmel Advisory Board liaisons. Thank you for allowing me to put together the bass tournament. It went over well. Biggest fish caught for the day was a 3.8 pound bass, which was really a nice size fish, especially for a lake. I'd just like to extend my gratitude to my fellow and committee members for helping me out for the day, and hopefully we'll make it bigger and better as we go forward. So thank you.
Bob, I gotta say one thing, and no criticism to you, but I have been requested to ask, at least to get the microphone over to you. People don't hear what you're saying on the television, so we gotta make an effort moving forward, all right?
I can get up also. Thank you.
And Bob, the winner did not put bass, lead weights in the bass, did
Oh,
they?
I read about that. That was in the newspaper, did you see that? Crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have one other announcement. On Friday, the Kent PBA is hosting their annual golf outing at Centennial. So I know it's a little late, we should have made the announcement earlier. My fault, I apologize, but the Kent PBA does a lot for the community, so any support, anybody out there that wants to golf or show up for dinner, please, you can get in touch with, Sean's not running it, correct?
Weltman, Vanderwood.
Okay, so
But I
just,
don't think there's any spots left to golf. Aren't they full? There's a couple spots. Okay.
but sorry, I remiss. Thank you. No, thank you.
No one else? Okay. Do you want to make the motion?
I make a motion to go into executive session
Second.
to discuss something important.
He said,
I couldn't remember any 7 of them at this point. Personnel,
that's what it is.
personnel.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I also invite our police chief to come in with us.